that could be totally innocent. And then later, Daryl carries her into the kitchen and she's kind of laughing, and it reminded me of a groom carrying his bride over the threshold.
Yeah.
And then later Daryl suggests that why don't we just stay here for a while, and if people come back, maybe we can make this work. And there was kind of a moment between them, and I did sort of feel like they're skirting that line of flirting with maybe the possibility of something happening between them.
Yeah.
And I thought, I really think they're not going to go over that line. They never cross it with Daryl and Carol, and I don't think they're going to cross it with Daryl and Beth. But I did feel like if Daryl and Beth, or two people like Daryl and Beth, were together in the zombie apocalypse and spent enough time caring for each other and saving each other's lives, I think it would be pretty much inevitable that they would end up hooking up.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, you don't have a giant dating pool out there.
Yeah, exactly. You go online and it's just going to be Daryl. Daryl said that
Carl.
Yeah. And maybe Carl may be dead, it says at the bottom.
Yeah. Status. Dating status.
In that exchange, when Daryl said maybe we should stay here, and if these people come back, maybe we can make it work, Beth said, so do you think there's good people around? What changed your mind? And he goes, and she goes, don't give me that. What changed your mind? And then she got something, and she said, oh, like wasn't sure what she got. That was it Beth that changed his mind? But she said in a way that seemed like she was almost distressed about it.
You're so not a teenage girl.
But she was like,
no, she was like, you dig me.
I don't think so. She looked unhappy.
No, she's a teenage girl. She was delighted.
I'm going to pause it. So we just looked at and proved it without a doubt that I was right. Thank you. Let's move on. Come on. All right.
Wow.
We don't have a consensus here. I'm going to post these two pictures of Beth before she figured out what he was saying and after, and you tell me if they're the same expression. Okay. And if she looks happy in the second one.
And who here thinks that Beth is happy to know that she was the one who changed his mind?
I'm not sure. See,
what made you change
because
your
she
mind?
looked so concerned and unhappy in that after she figured out what he was talking about. I'm not sure that that's what she got from it. Now, wait, what was the question about whether people can be
whether there's still good people
out there? Yeah, you're probably right, because she's a good person. Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of good people out there that he knows of. Rick.
Not anymore.
Yeah, maybe not anymore.
He only knows pretty much one person.
Good people die
at this point.
Okay, where were we here?
I don't know.
We're only 30 minutes in, by the way.
I think it's time for number one.
Okay. And it's your turn, right?
Yep.
Go for it.
I love the big ending. There's a lot of things going down at the very end. And one of them is Glenn sees Terminus, the sign for Terminus. Mm-hmm. So Glenn is now pointed in the right direction. Yeehaw. 2, Daryl and the biker dudes. We'll see what happens there. 3, Bob, Sasha, and Maggie reuniting. And it feels so good.
Glenn is with, we presume, still Abraham, Rosita, and Tara.
Yeah.
So I guess they're on their way to Terminus too.
And
possibly.
Who's the other dude?
Oh, Dr. Porter.
Dr. Porter.
And what was I going to say? The only person then in the people we know who hasn't seen the Terminus signs are, I think, Daryl and Beth, right?
Mm-hmm. She might have seen the Terminus signs by now.
She might be going to Terminus right now.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah. Okay, my number one.
Yeah, you're number one, man.
Just the bad guys. I love these guys. I love having these guys that are just ruthless. And I think I've said this before, but it makes sense to me that guys like this would still be alive, because if you're gonna, they're strong and it's like caveman days now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you have this kill or be killed attitude, then you might do okay. And it's thrilling to see. Like, I love how it ended with them kind of trying to co-opt Daryl into the group. And I can't wait to see what happens next with that, even though I think Daryl's just going to be a hero, and that might be kind of boring for me. But I'm still interested. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. I thought this was a pretty good episode. I have notes.
I do too.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, so my zombie kill of the week.
Oh, I didn't think of one.
Yeah, I got a zombie kill of the week, brother. You might agree. It was a pretty badass kill of the week. It was Maggie.
Chop in the head.
Maggie
Yeah.
with the stop sign.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
You got.
You're right.
I think that was a great use of a stop sign in the zombie apocalypse. You probably don't need stop signs in the zombie apocalypse, and it's nice to behead.
Just stop a zombie with it.
Just stop a zombie. Exactly. Stop zombie sign. And I thought it was funny when Beth said something came through here all ziggy-zaggy. It's a walker. And Daryl says, or a drunk. Remember when she was learning how to track? I thought that was great.
Is that okay? I didn't catch that.
There, those are my notes.
Okay.
Drink.
We're gonna play I Never later.
Yeah.
So let's see. Save some of that beer.
Save some of that beer, brother.
My notes. Bob says, "Oh, we already talked about that. How we weren't sure we believed that I mean, it is a little ridiculous that the zombie. What did it do? It just poked into the bandage a little, but didn't puncture all the way through.
Yeah,
and it enough to open his existing wound, but not enough to get a tooth.
Right,
into it.
exactly.
Okay,
they're not very bright, those zombies. And by the way, don't you think they should all be coated with those bandages? If they have more bandages, just wear the bandages all the time.
No. If in the real world, yes, but on TV that'd be weird.
Okay, you first.
I liked when Sasha told Bob, "You need to go to sleep and get some rest and heal up," and he said, "All right, I can try," and then he lay down, and then he got back up and he goes, "I tried."
Yeah, I've done that a lot.
That's cute. And I liked when they were talking about the sounds too, about how there's so many sounds, and I think what he was saying is he thinks the zombies sometimes just go around in circles because there's owls, and you just imagine like a zombie going along and you hear hoo hoo, and the zombie's like,
oh, brain.
Is that could that be food?
Remember when they were all trying to get the balloon a couple weeks ago? That was tied to the sign.
That was
Zombies
good.
are dumb.
Yep. That's why we love them. I was thinking in the zombie apocalypse, it could be fairly easy to start a commune. You just put up signs everywhere with a rhyme or something and saying, "Go here, you'll be safe." And you would probably attract people there.
Yeah.
And it would be good to use train tracks.
And actually, I'm surprised they didn't put signs up for the prison.
That's true, because it seems like towards the end, I don't know, were they actively wanting to build up their population, or were they just welcoming to people who they happen to cross their paths?
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
With Terminus, it seems like they really want to bring people
community
into it for some reason.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right.
All right, let's move along.
Obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens.
The people it kills get up and kill.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a Walking Dead Cast news update.
Okay, number one, part 2 of season 2 of the Telltale Walking Dead game is out, and I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but it's getting rave reviews, really good reviews. Yes, and I need to play it tonight because I'm going to be talking with Melissa Hutchinson at Walker Con in Chicago, and I have to play it.
Yeah.
I want to play it. I've been so busy, but I got to get to it. I'm looking forward to it. The Walking Dead Escape is now a tour. They have that zombie apocalypse things. It's all in stadiums around the country.
What a great idea.
I know. It's all Kirkman again. Like, he's just on fire, doing
really
everything possible to have to do with Walking Dead. But this is one of the ones that, aside, unlike Walking Dead Monopoly, this one I think is pretty cool. Maybe that's cool too. But they have dates in Baton Rouge, Houston, Miami, Tampa, Jacksonville, New Orleans, Atlanta, and San Diego coming up.
Why not San Francisco?
I don't know. I mean, the AT&T Park would be
perfect.
so cool.
Yes.
Wouldn't it? It's probably too expensive and too many regulations.
And actually, Oakland Stadium would be even better because it's janky.
Years. Oh yeah, it's already kind of apocalyptic.
I mean, I love the A's. Don't get me wrong, love the A's. Love you, A's. But yeah, the stadium's a little bit on the janky side.
Like how? Like just beaten up, or?
Well, as an example, last time they had an A's game. Well, last season they had an A's game there a couple of times. The sewage got so backed up, the toilets ran over. That kind of thing.
That sounds like a fun place to.
Yeah, right,
You
janky.
can just walk through all the.
Except that, you know what? When they had
Waste.
it in San Diego, they had these great monitors up everywhere, modern monitors
Yeah,
that showed sort of news coverage of the zombie apocalypse. So that added a lot. And they don't have anything.
They don't.
Well, you know what they do? What am I talking about? They do.
I don't know. I haven't been there since I was like 2 years old. So you can go to thewalkingdeadescape.com if you want to get information or buy tickets for those. Next, this Finnish game developer Next Games is developing the first mobile game based specifically on the Walking Dead show. It should be released around the same time as the season 5 premiere. I don't know anything else about it, but that's a thing. Emily Kinney had an interview on AMCTV.com. Here's a couple of questions I thought were interesting. They asked, did you know Emily was going to, Beth was going to be on such a roller coaster ride this season? She said, they don't tell you much, but I did know that Beth would have a boyfriend at the beginning of the season and she'd be trying out this different, more hardened way of dealing with it. She's trying on these attitudes the way a lot of teenagers do to find ways to deal with the loss around her. I liked that because some people have criticized them for Beth being inconsistent, but she's saying she's
a
just
teenager.
trying on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, teenagers are inconsistent people.
Yeah, and I think it's believable. They said, do you love working with babies on set as much as Beth seems to love baby Judith? She says, no. I'm just kidding.
No, but
She
hate 'em.
says,
What?
I do, because it can be challenging. The baby sort of runs the scene. If they're going to cry, you have to be quick or it ruins the scene. You have to always be ready because it only matters when the baby's ready. In some ways, it makes you less self-conscious, which I like. And also the baby's reaction is so real. I think it adds a sense of weight to the scenes. It keeps you in the moment.
Aw,
That's funny.
that is
The baby
nice.
runs the scene.
Baby runs it.
The baby and his twin. Because
The
they
baby-
usually have two, right?
Right. The baby always runs the scene, by the way.
I know. That's true. And even when you're not filming.
Right.
Totally. Then Norman Reedus had an interview on AMCTV.com. They said, Conan O'Brien recently said he thought you have one of the best, quote, mean, tired, angry, I'm going to kill you scowls on the show. That's saying a lot given other characters like Michonne. Are there any famous scowlers you look up to? He said, early on, I was so insecure as an actor that I just gave everyone dirty looks. I thought they all hated me. And somehow I've played parts since then where I murder people. It's kind of like that scowl turned into a career. All my favorite actors brood. Clint Eastwood definitely had a scowl happening. Charlie Bronson, Marlon Brando had one when he wanted one. Willem Dafoe can definitely turn your brain to ice by staring at you. He's great. As for Daryl, I've always played him as a fighter, but that's because he's always had to fight. There's a different kind of fight than a
right.
guy with big pecs coming at you to prove a point. I guess that goes hand in hand with the scowl. I just thought it was interesting that he named off some of his acting heroes.
Yeah, that's great.
The scowlers. Clint Eastwood. He's a scowler.
He is a scowler.
He didn't say anything about Fonzie. I'm kind of disappointed.
Aw. Was Fonzie a scowler?
I guess
He was
not.
smiley, actually.
No, I wouldn't. He smiled occasionally, but he had a gravitas. I would say that's a perfect word. Fonzie.
A cool gravitas.
Yeah, you just
He's cool, man.
play it cool. They say there's a lot of new characters this season, though. What's it like to welcome new cast to the set? He said, it's interesting because when they come on, I kind of look at them the way Daryl would look at them. I don't really talk to them. I kind of give them dirty looks. And then after a couple episodes, when they're all beat up and they have scrapes all over their bodies and they're kind of walking as if they're 95 years old, then I open up and I'm like, hey, nice to have you on board.
That's funny.
Like that. So that's it for the news. Let's take a little break. There's more to come. Stay with us. All right, we're back. Let's talk Audible, our sponsor for this week. You can go to audiblepodcast.com/deadcast to get a free audiobook when you sign up for a free trial. I like Audible because I don't have a lot of time to read anymore, but I do things like walking or doing dishes, cleaning, and I like to be listening to something. So I get to listen to some things that I wanted to listen to, and B, it also makes that activity go by faster.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If you're working out or whatever, it goes by a lot faster.
Or driving. It's great for driving.
Yeah, commutes.
God,
totally.
I tell you.
time.
Well, that's how I got through World War Z and 11/22/63, the Stephen King book. Yeah, those were all audibles, and they were great.
And that's the only way pretty much these days that I read is by listening to audiobooks.
Really?
I mean, I read like news stuff on the web, but as far as like long form
Right,
novels,
right.
I listen to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems like the quality also of the reading has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
It's an art, So they have any kind of books you can imagine on there. Lately, I've been listening to Walking Dead, Follow the Governor, which those aren't my favorite, but they're pretty good. And I like it now because it's intersecting with where the comic book is.
Yeah.
Scenes that we saw in the comics. So you can, now Rick and Michonne are in there, and it's when they first meet the governor. So that's pretty cool. I was also listening to Dr. Sleep, the Stephen King sequel to The Shining, which is pretty gripping so far, but I'm just like a third of the way into that. So maybe I'll talk about it if we do more advertising.
Cool.
But you have one to talk about.
Yeah. I just started Malcolm Gladwell's Tipping Point, how little things make a big difference. And I've read a lot of this already in my New Yorkers. He's a staff writer for the New Yorker, so he's published.
Does he read it in the audiobook?
Yeah. Yeah, I read a lot of it in the New Yorker already, and so I thought it was pretty good, but I thought it was also worth a revisit. So I downloaded it from Audible, and anybody who knows how much I love podcasts knows that I also like Freakonomics. It's a great radio show / podcast, and so if you like Freakonomics, you will love anything that Malcolm Gladwell does.
Really interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I read
absolutely.
the one he had about like just making quick decisions.
Right.
I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, I did too. So this one seeks to explain and describe the mysterious sociological changes that mark everyday life, or so says the little intro. As Gladwell states, ideas and products and messages and behaviors spread like viruses do, which I thought was really great considering the podcast that we have. So it's my recommendation this week.
Yeah, I might take you up on that because I've been curious about that book.
And by
it's
the
been
way,
around for a while, huh?
Yeah,
5, 6
it
years.
has. It was published in 2000.
Oh my God, time
Yeah,
flies.
14 years ago. By the way, it's sort of fun to listen to audiobooks in a different kind of place. Like, I've listened to some mysteries while I'm hiking in the woods, and it makes it so much more creepy, and it adds like this whole level. So you're not just in a bed reading a book, which is a great experience, and I do that too, but being outside and listening to something, especially if you're walking through kind of a park and it's deserted.
Or if you're killing someone.
Right, exactly. It's nice to
Makes
have
it
a little
creepy.
something to kill the time.
To add to the movie.
To kill the time as well as the victim.
So they have more audiobooks than you can listen to in a lifetime on there, literally. I did a little rough calculations, but they have over 150,000 audiobooks on there. I figure at an average of 7 hours per book, that's being conservative because most of them are around, they're longer, but that's about 1,050,000 hours worth of audiobooks on there. So if you divide that by 24, that's 43,750 days worth of reading, which is 119.86 years.
So you'll probably be able to do the whole thing.
Yeah, you could probably, well, if medical advances keep happening, then you might be able to get through their whole catalog, but it's growing all the time. So go to audiblepodcast.com/deadcast to get your free audiobook when you sign up for a trial. You can also buy these individually on there. But if you listen to a lot of them, you save money by signing up for their monthly program, and you get a book a month or something like that. But if you can just try it for free using audiblepodcast.com/deadcast, and then there's no obligation to continue on, and you get a free book. And thank you to Audible for your support.
Thanks, Audible.
All right, let's move on to listener moans, groans, and grunts.
Brains. Okay, this first one comes from LaDonna Carpenter, who writes, as much as I love the story arcs, I really want the characters to get back together soon. We brought Carol back for one episode, and now we haven't seen her again in 3 weeks. Where was Rick, Carl, and Michonne? We haven't seen them in a couple of weeks now either. I understand that we're leading up to a reunion of some sort, but it's taking too long. Maybe if I was binge watching later, it wouldn't seem this drawn out. But when we only get one episode a week, it's too slow. Jason, fix it.
I don't agree with this at all. I can understand it, and I especially understand wanting to see your favorite characters, or also feeling like, oh my God, they're apart. I want them to be together and everything to work out. And I have that feeling too. And I like that feeling. It's kind of like you said, like a good heartbreak to have. But I feel like we've seen these guys together for 3.5 years. We've gotten 3.5 years worth of stories of them together. And I think it's cool to have a half a year of stories with them apart and see what that's like. It's cool.
What?
I'm enjoying it.
I agreed with LaDonna at first. I didn't want them to be apart. And now I'm digging these individual stories.
Yeah, you get a lot more opportunity for character development too.
Yeah.
You really do. And when Scott Gimple first started and he talked about wanting to do more character stuff, I was a little skeptical of that, but for the most part, I think it's working out really well. I do. I know a lot of people say, I don't even like this show anymore. And then there's other people who say it's better than ever. So you can't please everyone, I guess.
Yeah, you can't. Exactly.
Okay. But thanks, LaDonna. This is from Patch Devereaux. He says, Season 4B is on a winning streak. I haven't felt this good about Walking Dead since its premiere arc. They've been 5 for 5 now since the mid-season premiere. Truly the result of a great writer's room and taking time to further develop characters. Over the holiday, I rewatched Lost for the first time. Why I and so many people fell in love with the cast of characters is because of how many layers they had. They were raw, emotional, and we were able to relate to them. We cared about them, and that's why we were interested in their fates.
Amen.
The Walking Dead has been, I feel, working off that same Lost formula since the 4B has premiered. I guess this new mid-season. This show should not be about the zombie apocalypse, rather the people of the zombie apocalypse and their metamorphosis through both times of trauma and times of hope. This seemed to be missing from the past few seasons, dare I say, even some of 4A. It doesn't always have to be blood, guts, and mayhem. I think it does have to be blood, guts, and mayhem, but I still agree with everything else you said.
Thanks, Patch. Ego Mechanics writes, now I know why it's called The Walking Dead. All this walking is going to kill them. Maybe some of us here at home too. Walking. Everybody's walking. What is this, Lord of the Rings? Somebody throw the damn ring into the fire of Mount Doom and get on with the story already. Also, Rick needs to shout, Carl! Pass that on to the writers for me. Thanks, Ego Mechanics.
He said he needs to shout Carl more.
Right.
Not
Carl.
needs to shout Carl, because obviously he does shout Carl.
Carl.
I will pass that along.
Yes.
Ego Mechanics. This is from Amy S. Hi, Jason and Karen. First time writing in, but I've been listening to you for a while. Thanks for doing the podcast each week. You're welcome. Also, are you guys the same Jason and Karen that did the Game of Thrones podcast? Was it any good?
Then that's us.
Hi. Our voices may have changed.
We did every season.
Yeah.
We do
two so far, or 3 maybe.
I think maybe 3.
Maybe we've done 3.
That was like the first time. Didn't we meet Eric the first
Mr.
time?
Blog, yeah. We do one once a season, and we'll probably do the same thing this season.
I can't flippin' wait for Game of Thrones to come back, and also Mad Men.
Though our Game of Thrones, this is like a little teaser, like vague teaser. Our Game of Thrones episode might be on a different podcast this year, maybe. We'll see. She says, anyways, when do you accept questions up until for the week's episodes? I think I usually stop looking at email around 2 p.m. to tell you the truth, but I'd prefer if you send them earlier.
Pacific
on
Monday.
Pacific, yeah. Can you guys talk about how Daryl and Beth left a raging fire last week? Or are we supposed to assume it just magically dies out, especially since they're in the forest? I'd think that it would just keep spreading. I know it's just a plot point we're supposed to overlook for the sake of plot symbolism, but really, ha ha ha.
No, we can't talk about that.
But you're the park ranger. Would it die out potentially, or would it?
It's just
spread?
A seasonal park ranger.
Oh.
And it does seem like they were in a pretty rainy spot. I don't know. They had fog. What do I know? Who knows?
We don't know.
Don't look too closely.
Next week we'll have a fireman on. We don't know. Number 3, but I wouldn't put it past him to just overlook that. Just because it was a cool plot
and also,
point.
why are all the guys still clean shaven? David made that point last night, but he made it. He made
Rick.
For Rick. He made the point just to sort of say, "Don't look too closely."
Wait, Rick has stubble. Does he have a stubble razor, or
Yeah.
How do you get that?
He has a special
You
Gillette
spend
stubble
like
razor.
3 hours a day with the scissors.
Staying sexy for the apocalypse.
3, I always thought that Bob was the psycho that dissected the rat at the jail. Is it confirmed that that was actually Lizzie instead? Is Bob a, quote, good guy? Nothing's confirmed.
Nothing's confirmed.
But I don't think it's Bob. I think it's Lizzie.
Rampant speculation. Yeah, we don't know. David Zapanta says, I thought tonight's episode was great and I loved last week's too. Scott Gimple's character-driven approach to this season has resulted in some of the strongest episodes of the season. You get a strong sense that
Of the series.
You get a strong of the series. Sorry, you get a strong sense that there's so much story behind what's being shown on screen. What really happened at the country club? Who was maintaining the morgue? Yeah, exactly. There's a lot that, and I like when they don't just cram the information down your throat. I hunger for more details, but the show doesn't suffer. It doesn't suffer if we never get these answers. Right. Personally, I don't like it when the viewers are spoon-fed obvious details, but that's just me. No, it's me too, David. I'm with you. Top-notch action tonight with plenty of walkers. It's everything you'd want out of The Walking Dead, and then some. Plus, Bob Stuckey is not going to let the apocalypse stop him from pitching some serious woo.
Yeah. I totally agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the back and forth. Adam Gutterman says, how is it that with all the supply runs that they made while at the prison, they never came across any of the signs for Terminus? Well, one plausible reason for that, aside from the story hadn't been written yet, would be that the signs were just put up recently.
And also maybe they're a little farther away from the prison than they ever ventured
That's
or
true,
needed
too,
to
yeah.
venture.
But yeah, they went on supply runs.
Also,
I think that's a legitimate question, but one answer could be that they were just put up recently.
Also, the signs are on railroad tracks. But they're at crossroads.
I mean, everybody seems to be running into them now, and because
Don't
they
look
left
too-
from the prison. So I would say that the best answer would be that they weren't up yet.
Don't look
But
too
we don't
closely. But thanks for writing. Evan Shapiro writes, I don't think the good ones survive. Daryl said that. What a great comment on the survivor's guilt and personal darkness about the things you have to do. A parallel to the theme, can you come back from the things you have to do? God, that's a really good point, Evan.
Yeah, that's sort of points to what I was saying. Go get the door. There's the dog.
There's the dog.
About the bad guys, it makes sense that they're around. Survival of the fittest. Brian Lee says, interesting that Maggie slept with dead walkers to disguise her scent. That's an interesting, but you're saying that's not what was going on, huh?
No, I am saying that's what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Brian. Jillian Arthur says, I was scared when the new group of tough guys surrounded Daryl, but I was happy for them to accept him into their group, I think.
Well, the alternative would have been that they would have shot him in the head.
Right. Nobody wants that.
Or the back several times. Pete Ilani Requiro, hi Pete Ilani, says, Bob and his NyQuil reminded me of my LDS friend doing a shot of cherry NyQuil with us while we took tequila shots. That's not acceptable. You got to tell your LDS friend that you can't be drinking NyQuil. It's just alcohol, right? I don't know what the LDS
Maybe
book
her
says.
LDS friend was
Had
sick
a
at the
cold,
time.
yeah, bad cold. She needed
Love it. It's
she
so
needed
funny.
the whole bottle.
Missy Kerrigan says, timeline questions. Could Daryl have been with the Marauders when they raided the house?
I don't think so. Oh, and Larry Willie Swink says, I don't think so. The guy that Rick killed in the bathroom in the previous episode was not with the group when they met up with Daryl. I think this is after the home invasion.
I think so too, but it's hard to know. Lisa Ott says, really gut-wrenching. My stomach was in knots the whole time for all the complainers of last week's episode. This is why they spent time on character development, Karen. She didn't write that. I added that.
Megan Dively Lemon says, I'm going to make a prediction. Terminus will have hollowed out because of the same disease that swept the prison. When they get there, it'll be a few holdouts starving in a back room, slowly turning.
Oh, no.
We will pick up a new character or two that way, but they'll be moving on fast. That pre-recorded radio message is going to go on until the end of time, like Lost.
Oh, yeah. The message that was in French, I think.
That would be sad. But you know what? I think there's a fair chance that could happen because they made such a big deal out of the sickness early on and have seemed to have dropped it now. So maybe.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, that's kind of depressing.
I hope it's all
I hope it doesn't
sunshine,
happen either. I want it to be more interesting than that.
Sunshine and lollipops and rainbows and,
I want
and unicorns.
I want intelligent zombies who have figured out how to write terminus on signs. I got a good way to lure them all right to the end of the tracks.
Smart. Maybe zombies aren't too dumb. Sonia Ely writes, overall, the season has been disappointing for me. I no longer feel any emotional connection to any of the characters, except the exception perhaps is Maggie.
I wonder why.
Oh, Sonia, do you still love us? We feel emotional connection to you.
Do you have any emotional connection to us? Travis Forrest says the entire second half of this season suck. They're all the same episodes, basically. Travis tends to have similar observations each week, if I remember right.
Travis, baby, you and Sonia need to have a beer and
hug it out.
Anthony Farnsworth writes, so intense, on the edge every 5 minutes, but shame on me for doubting Daryl Dixon, though maybe he might get bit for a second there. I thought he might get bit for a second there, but I have sinned. He can never die. He must never die.
You hear me? He will never die. I can guarantee that, you guys, until he has a fight with the AMZ executives.
He's last man standing.
Yep.
Yeah, until the AMZ executives decide he must
My
go.
prediction is he lives until within the last few episodes of the series, barring any contract disputes. But I think he will die towards the end. But who knows? He could be the last man standing.
There is no end.
I almost think that because Beth told him you're going to be the last man standing, the writers are thinking, this might be true, last week. It's going to end sometime. I mean, the sun is going to swallow up the earth in several billion years. So
Stop it.
Walking Dead can't go on after that.
You're so mean.
That's what the scientists with the mullets say. Michael
a scientist
Angela
with a mullet cannot be wrong.
Michael Angela says, I wonder if the funeral home is bait for some not yet to be introduced characters. Probably not, but it seems weird that somebody with a car is there to snatch Beth up right as the zombies come knocking on the front door.
I think he led them there. And he was trying to get them out of the house. Ben Williams writes, meh, 3 dented road signs.
Okay, bunch of calls this week. If yours doesn't get played, then please try again another time. If we play them all, then it's going to be just a podcast full of calls. But there's a bunch of good ones. So here's Ethan from Silver Springs.
Hey, it's Ethan in Silver Spring, Maryland. I know. Let's all split up and search this abandoned summer camp. Brains.
I don't get that. There's no summer camp. It's funny, though.
It is funny. I like it. Thanks, Ethan.
Short. If you play, by the way, here's a tip. If you send a call and it's really short, even if it doesn't make sense, I'll play it. Here's Michael Lopez.
Hola Jason, y Karen, tu voz sonorosa es música y espero que te sientes mejor pronto. This is Michael from the Bronx. I give this episode 7.9 out of 9 pickled pig's feet. Top 5. Jason, you often talk about horror movie tropes. In Alone we saw fog, writing in blood, cemetery, cadavers, and a romantic moment immediately followed by a rare post-apocalyptic home invasion and kidnapping. Number 4, we got some black love in this episode. Very sexy. Is that what I want to say? Number 3, the fog scene. Back from the commercial in Medias Res, that's Latin for in the middle of things, was a chilling example of walkers being more dangerous. So much geek, murder, death, kill in this episode. It was just great. Number 2, the cold open flashback was crazy cool. Exactly the kind of thing Gimple was talking about and saying that would enhance the story. Unlike the original group, Bob Stuckey was never adjusted to the false safety of the prison. And my number 1, the lonely symbolism. Bob on his own, walking down the tracks. This time, is he en route towards hope? Daryl, seated in the crossrope after he loses his font of hope in Beth, he meets the kind of gang that could bring him back to his old ways, exactly the self that he had just burned last week. That was an awesome episode. I really enjoyed it. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Don't get bit.
I like that.
Oh my God, Michael Lopez, I love you. Please, please call in again. You're great. He needs his own podcast. He was good.
I like how you hit on that same thing about Daryl. That group could possibly bring Daryl back to his ways. I'm glad somebody else got that, because that's kind of what I hope they wrestle with a little bit, rather than him just, trying to get away the whole time.
And by the way, thank you for the multilingual review. You're so, molto bueno.
Multilingual. Okay, next is Emma B. from Los Angeles.
Hi, this is Emma B. calling from the freeways of Los Angeles, California. I'm a somewhat long-time listener, sometimes emailer, first-time caller. I'm so appreciative of your show. There aren't too many of my friends or family that would be willing to talk for over an hour about the show. So listening to you helps fill a need.
Mine either.
Aww.
I just listened to your podcast where you discussed the episode Claim, and I was having some thoughts about Michonne and Carl's relationship. When Michonne decided to stop walking with the zombies and to come back to life, I think she touched base with her instincts as a mother, and so all the behavior we were seeing was all motherly, trying to encourage and try Carl and to try new behaviors with him. And I think since she was trying to shift her relationship a little more with Carl, that whenever you try to do that with a person, it naturally creates some awkwardness in both the giver and the recipient. So I sense that awkwardness that Jason was talking about, but I took it to be perfectly in line with the episode with her just trying out this new way of kind of encouraging and managing Carl a little bit. So those are my thoughts, and I don't have a good zombie groan, but I love listening to you guys, so keep it up. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really sweet, Emma. And you can totally consider us your friends and family who will talk about zombies for an hour every week.
Or 138 hours.
Or 138 hours, whatever.
I agree with you. I think that's what they were going for as far as Michonne kind of trying to, connect with Carl, but doing it in an awkward way. And I think that worked pretty well. There were just a couple things that I didn't like. One was that she was being so cavalier while they were doing a zombie sweep, but that was just a minor thing. But the thing about her pretending to be a zombie, I really just feel like I think that's kind of a mistake by the writers, because like I said before, if your baby sister got chopped up by a hatchet, you wouldn't pretend to hit Carl with a hatchet, So I don't think that was Michonne being insensitive. I just think that the writers didn't really consider that would be insensitive. But I think it would for me if like my baby sister got eaten by a zombie and somebody came up to me and went, "Rawr," I would be pretty offended. But I still think the whole thing that you're saying about like them being kind of awkward trying to connect and stuff is totally right on. Okay, so the last call is Des from Ohio.
Hey, Jason, this is Des. Karen, hope you're feeling better. Really missed you on the live podcast last week. This episode tonight was really, really good. Really loved it. Don't have a whole lot to say about it except for now I kind of want to go watch Phantasm again after probably 30 years. Last week, I felt kind of stupid. Listen to the Walker Stalker. They hated last week's episode, so I'm hoping to hear that they like this one, And one other thing, the preview for next week was creepy good. Can't wait to see that one. And hey, guys, don't get bit.
You too, Des.
Thanks. Yeah, Phantasm. Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh, that movie scared the hell out of me when I was a little kid. And it's the one with the tall man who's in the mortuary. He's got old and white hair and just shows up in the background, or he'll reach out of the mirror and grab you and take you into another dimension. You remember that? There were these silver balls that would go around in the halls of the mortuary, and this like spike would come out and get you in the head and like embalm all your fluids would come pouring out. And I used to, when for some reason I saw that when I was like 7 years old.
That was a bad choice.
I'd lay in bed and my wood grain, I would see that man's face in the grain.
Oh no, then you can never unsee it.
I know, and I would hide under the covers and cry myself to sleep. Yeah, that's a great movie.
That really explains a lot.
And then I went to this other movie, Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, I love Bubba Hotep.
Done by the same people who did Phantasm, same director. And so a lot of the Phantasm actors were there, and that guy, the tall man, was sitting in the audience. And I'm like 35 years old or something. 30 years old. I just kept looking over at him. There he is.
Silver ball is going to come suck out my innards.
Yeah. Creepy.
By the way, David showed me from the BBC from the 1960s, 70s, The Prisoner. Mm-hmm. And it was, did you see it?
Parts of, I saw many episodes.
Yeah, it's great.
It's kind of, they have that ball floating around, huh?
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, check that out. It's weird.
Yeah,
I like it. Okay, that's it for all your great calls and emails and everything. Thanks, you guys. Let's move on to next week on The Walking Dead.
Next week on The Walking Dead is episode 14, The Grove. Is that right? The Grove. Yeah, The Grove. There's only 3 more episodes left, so this is the third to last. And don't worry, I'm not giving anything away by telling you what the description is on the AMC website. It says, after finding an idyllic place to establish a new shelter, the group starts to question whether it is possible to go back to the way things were in bed.
That sounds way more revealing than most of those to me, because if the group finds shelter and tries to go back to the way things were, or it could be misdirection, but it makes it sound like the group has, at least some people have reunited, and then they're trying to figure out whether...
That's possible, because it's an important episode. I'm guessing because it's written by Mr. Scott M. Gimple. You may know him as the showrunner, but he also wrote Clear. And it's directed by a first-time director, Michael Satrazemis, and it's first time directing, but he's done lots and lots of camera operation work and cinematography on The Walking Dead, so he has lots of Walking Dead experience. So it should be an interesting show. Did you see any of the previews?
I did, but I don't remember anything. It seemed like there was something with the little girls.
There were a couple of things. One was incredibly creepy. They showed it on The Talking Dead, the next show that follows, and there was a farmhouse with music going, and you're in the kitchen, you're looking out the kitchen window with this weird creepy music, and out the window you see a little girl playing with the zombie, and she kind of does a little game of chase with the zombie, which is creepy. And the music was creepy. The whole thing was weird. And even who's the Talking Dead host? Chris Hardwick was like, it's creepy. That was kind of neat. And then also there was another scene with Tyrese, Mika, and Judith playing I Spy, and they spied someone shambling down the railroad tracks.
Oh.
So who
cool.
is it? I don't know.
I'm glad to get back to. I want to see what's going on with that psycho girl.
Not Mika, Lizzie.
We
Lizzie Borden.
So far. Yeah, Lizzie Borden.
Yeah.
So, you ready to close it out?
I am.
All right, that's our show, episode 138. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
It's time for our weekly edition of I Never. You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
I never shot a bow and arrow.
I can't remember. I think I did in high school.
I did.
I'll drink.
I'm drinking too. I just picked something that I knew I'd do.
Okay, here's mine. Mm-hmm. I never skinny dipped.
Oh, drink.
Both drinking.
My best skinny dip, by the way.
Yeah.
I was in Norway, in a really cool town way up in the fjords in Norway.
Sounds cold.
It was, but it was summertime, and I said to the person I was with at the time, I said, "You dare me to strip off my clothes and jump in this lake?" And he's like, "Yeah."
And your mom said,
like,
"Yeah."
And I did. It was great.
Did you catch that? I said it was your mom. Hold on. Okay, I want to show you
Mom's like, really? That's not behavior that behooves a young lady.
But go ahead.
But I did just double dog dare you, so.
Okay, we just got our Walking Dead Hawaii posters. Pretty cool, huh?
They're so great! Oh God,
it's nice cards or poster stock too.
Wow.
It's so nice. I love it. Thank you, Kirk.
Awesome.
I know you're listening.
Kirk, baby.
They look way better even than I thought they would.
There's so much detail.
Yeah. Really cool. So to all you contest winners, I am super busy this week getting ready for Walker Stalker Con, but as soon as I get back, I'll mail these out to you guys.
And I'm also busy getting ready for spring training in Arizona.
Okay. She's going to be playing baseball now.
Yeah, man. Getting back in shape.
Get that pitching arm going. If you would like to call us, you can reach us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323, or click the send voicemail button on our website. A couple of you did that this time. Thank you.
You can write us at brains@walkingdeadcast.com.
You can go to our website with lots of Walking Dead news and info at walkingdeadcast.com, and don't forget to click through our Amazon link on there.
And we're also on Twitter at Jason and Karen, on Tumblr at walkingdeadcast.tumblr.com, and on Facebook at facebook.com/deadcast.
There's a new S.H.I.E.L.D. episode tomorrow night, which means a new TV Talk S.H.I.E.L.D. from me and Brittany on Wednesday morning, I guess.
Cool.
If you want to find that, go to iTunes and search TV Talk S.H.I.E.L.D. Don't forget to go to Under the Comic Covers and look for that on iTunes, or go to underthecomiccovers.com and check that out. And just wanted to let you know, next week we're going to be out one day later because I'll be in Chicago for Walker Stalker Con. So we're going to be recording on Tuesday, and probably the podcast will be published on Wednesday. All right, that's our show.
Thanks for listening.
Don't get